Meanwhile, the not a semi-evil twin, Margaret Liss, she signed a sworn affidavit to that effect, and everything. Asks, did she sign a sworn affidavit? That was very nice. Hey, boss man, could you take a look at the Notebooks post for this upcoming week, April 4th, and ask, where was this story intended to be published? Why didn't he finish it? To which I replied, that sounds like work. Anyway, she's asking about the Howard the Duck story from pages 61 to 65 of Albatross #1, available as a facsimile based on the answers you gave up there. As I recall, and it might be a false memory, I had done the frontispiece for the Howard the Duck magazine, #8, and that was pretty much on my own initiative. Hey, are you guys interested in publishing this? Yes, they were interested in publishing it. And then thinking, okay, I'm doing Cerebus, and Cerebus is, now my full-time job. But I do want to do other comics. Having had smooth sailing on doing the inside front cover frontispiece for Howard the Duck #8, it was, what if I do a 3-page filler story and do that and send that to them, and would they be inclined to say, well, we've never really had that many pages left over, but it's the first time for everything. Yeah, what the heck? Here's this amount of money for the story. And I think pretty much at the same time, somebody contacted me to ask me if I was willing to write Howard the Duck. And that was one of those, this is in one sense opportunity knocking. On the other hand, I've already done 18, 20 issues of Cerebus, and I like the autonomy, and I like doing my own character. So it's not the opportunity that the average person would think that it is. And no, I'm not really interested in writing as doing outside stuff. It's I would be interested in writing and drawing a short Howard the Duck story a lot more than I would be interested in writing Howard the Duck as the regular writer. But that wasn't on the table, and you don't really come back and say, well, no, this is what I'm interested in doing. So at that point, it was, no, having turned them down for writing Howard the Duck, and that's what they wanted me to do. I don't think they're going to be open to me writing and drawing really short Howard the Duck stories. So I think this is just the end of the line for this one. It's would have been fun. Would have enjoyed doing it as a sideline to Cerebus, but not as would have been the case with writing Howard the Duck, a complete alternative to Cerebus, and taking up a good chunk of my creative time. My writing chops, I want all of those going into making Cerebus the best book that I can make. Okay, it's 25 to 8, and my next spare time is 7:52. So I'm going to read, and finally Travis asks, I'm almost certain someone would have already asked Dave about his thoughts on Ed Piskor's suicide. But if not, and no one has. I appreciated that Sean Robinson left me a phone message obviously deeply affected by the situation. And thank you, Sean, for doing that. But if not, Dave, what are your thoughts on Ed Piskor's suicide? It would be interesting to hear the opinion of a comic book professional who is not on the internet. This went from internet allegations to death in only 9 days or so. Thank you, respectfully, Travis, not the one who owes money to Matt H. And Matt says, geez, I'm gonna have to explain this, aren't I? And are we sure this Travis doesn't owe me money? Like, we checked all the invoices? Okay, I appreciate you doing the Reader's Digest on it there. Definitely a very, very grim situation. So what I did was Dave Sims' top 10 things that Ed Piskor's suicide brings to mind. 1, there but for the grace of God go I. The only thing that saved me in 1994 was that I wasn't on the internet, to the point where Bill Willingham felt compelled to phone and ask, are you aware of how badly you're being tarred and feathered on the internet right now? 2, Malcolm Muggeridge's paraphrase of what he saw as Dostoevsky's core theme in his work: accept suffering and be redeemed by it. Not by the suffering, but by the acceptance of the suffering. 3, if you think you have friends, you haven't been canceled, ... yet. I'm a very matter-of-fact kind of guy, so it was a matter of moving to an adjacent, reality-based square. None of my peers are friends, but I still have their work, which, reality check, is all that I ever did have. 4, never commit suicide, always make them kill you. Committing suicide is doing the work of evil beings for them. 5, repent and atone. We've all done bad things. We all have skeletons in our closets. That's forgivable if we stop doing them and stay stopped. The longer you stay stopped, the more you atone for what you did. 6, if you aren't a husband or a boyfriend, stay away from women except for being humanly courteous to them as neighbors, strangers, and acquaintances. 7, the Job rule is always in effect. If something terrible is happening to you that you think you don't deserve, God is testing you. You're expected to pass God's test. 8, complete isolation is the best thing for creativity, and there's nothing closer to complete isolation than being canceled. 9, as Truman Capote said, citing a Roma proverb, the dogs howl, but the caravan rolls on. 10, if you think you can't be canceled, you're delusional. Okay, so that'll do it. Just in time for prayer time. Manly Matt Dow. I want you to say hello to Paula and Janice Pearl and Bullwinkle and Buddy and Bonnie and Clyde. That'll take you most of the rest of the night right there.
Well, earlier, one of the cats was pawing at the door of the hallway going, let me in, and I'm like, I'll give this a shot. So I let open the door, and Clyde came running in, and he's, I love you. And I'm like, you can love me as much as you want, just do it quietly, I'm on the phone. And then he got into the bedroom door, which was closed but not closed, and I'm like, okay, you're in the bedroom, I don't care, you can't get out. And then Bonnie followed him and was like, oh, I love you too, but not as much as him. And I'm like, all right, just be quiet. I don't care what you two cats do. Just shut up. So now he's back at the door going, let me in. And it's like, because I scooted him out eventually. And it's like, no, you're done, cat. I'm not letting you in. The door's closed for a reason. But he's so
well, you're winning temporarily, Matt. I got to go. I got the prayer time coming up.
Well, I will talk to you again, God willing, next month.
Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.